Abusia Michel and Mr. Somo Aquaba son Costa Family Channel, so hard as I bear media judge. Abusia Besso, I say, any day when you channel is why best also best subscribe at the Amaya Abusia, mobile notification bell from a podcast update. Abusia for a year parliament. Yes, a year parliament. A year, Honorable KCL Ato Forson, Abusia, a year finance minister, or a year the minority leader. A year Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin, and then after coin be so a year parliament Abusia for. Enya sem ketwa had a so ye bear media judge yam ko ntie ne course e wo ho na asa na nobusia be so so be subscribe e dia maye na busia e ma wura mfi se bobo ye notification bell for more podcast update yente ne course e wo ye parliament between Honorable KCL Ato Forson and the minority leader Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin Emrasesia yedas.
So Mr. Speaker, I oppose the amendment made by the minority leader in this regard, because it strengthens the hands of the government and also helps the central bank. So beyond the everyday OMO, if they require something to keep the operations of the central bank going, it will have to come to Parliament. Thank you.
Honourable members, I think we stood a clause down. That was clause 11. Honourable members, may we humbly visit clause 11.
Mr. Speaker, let's suspend consideration at the moment and do other things, because the minister responsible for government communication is here. He has questions to
Honourable member, we are left with just one clause.
Mr. Speaker, not that. Passing that, will still come back to second consideration on this bill. There was indication on clause 1 that will come back to second consideration. So doing that will definitely not cure it. So let's suspend consideration.
Honourable member, if you don't finish the consideration, how do you come back to second consideration? Yes.
Speaker, with respect, we in leadership, we have a role to help you guide the House. I have related to the deputy leader. And earlier on, we set out.
I agree with you. But on this occasion, the minister was having a meeting. We have to ask the minister to leave the meeting and come to the chamber in order to offer explanation to clause 11.
Speaker, you listen to me. You realize that I'm rather even corroborating your point.
Yes.
But Speaker, the minister leaving a meeting and coming to Parliament, it's not a justification for us to stop our business and prioritize the minister. The minister is our friend. We like him.
No.
Parliament is important.
You are rather asking the business to stop.
Speaker, if you say he left the meeting, he should have been here in the first place. He's a member of Parliament. His appropriation has not been part. That is, he wants his appropriation part. That's why he left the meeting. Speaker, so I like you. We like you. But on this occasion, wait. Speaker, he should wait. The whole day he has not been here. He just came 30 minutes. He wants to leave. No. Felix has been sitting here the whole day.
Honourable Minister.
No.
I think we have.
Speaker, let me conclude.
I'm also pleading with you on this occasion.
If we are going to prioritize him, there should be a condition.
Why should we prioritize?
Yes, today when we met our leadership.
Very well. So I've heard your and understood your language. So leadership, you need to engage on this matter.
Yes, there are matters.
Yes. Not to suspend and engage. No.
We will suspend this one.
Not to suspend and engage. Finance Minister, let's take this. For the fact that we have done the consideration doesn't mean we did the third reading.
We will allow him.
Yes.
To elucidate on that clause.
Yes.
But
so
then afterwards,
Finance Minister, clause 11.
Afterwards, we will suspend consideration on the bill. We'll take the questions. Honourable Foreign Minister will brief the House. Then the Road Minister, who has been sitting here all day.
You see, Honourable Minority Leader, we have a leader of government business. Honourable Minority Leader, you and I, we have been here for some time. The practice that I do not want is as if you are trying to determine the kind of business to be conducted. Please. Yes, Minister. Clause 11.
Mr. Speaker,
For me, clause 11 is the most important part of the bill before us. Mr. Speaker,
In the first place, what is a seasonal shortfall?
what is
Seasonal shortfall of a budget.
seasonal shortfall?
As in clause 11.2.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, seasonal shortfalls of government revenue or budget revenue may be because, Mr. Speaker, you know that there are seasonalities in the revenue that we collect. Mr. Speaker, for example, I have an Eurobond that will fall due on the 3rd of January 709 million United States dollars. It has to do with interest of Eurobond that we have to pay as a country. Let's say the year has started, the appropriation begins on the 1st of January. And then you are expecting to raise revenue to service that Eurobond. For example, I'm just granting an example. The Speaker, on the 2nd, you need the money to service that due. But it will be due by the 3rd. And you have not accumulated enough revenue for the month. And you expect that you accumulate enough revenue, let's say 15th, because of the beginning of the week. There are some revenues that you can only get it in a month or maybe a quarter. That is seasonality. Mr. Speaker, for example, if you have a sinking fund in place, you are ready to pay, but it's not everybody that will have it in place. Mr. Speaker, the rationale here in this amendment, for me, is the most important, is to restrict monetary financing. Is to restrict monetary financing and improve, in other words, printing of money by the central bank. Mr. Speaker, what we are seeking to do here is to cap the 5% of previous year's revenue to only take care of emergencies. Only take care of emergencies. And even the emergencies, as soon as you hit that 5%, you have to come to Parliament to explain to Parliament why you have arrived at that 5%, and to take remedies, inform Parliament the remedies you are putting in place to reverse. And in the law it says that you have up to 3 months to correct it. And so all what we are seeking to do is to strengthen the old act. And even if you are going to allow monetary financing, a very small element, then it is under extreme emergency. Mr. Speaker, I recall in 2015, I brought a bill here to reduce the monetary financing from the 10% of previous year's revenue to today's 5%. But Mr. Speaker, it did not provide enough safeguards. And so since 2015, particularly in recent past, we saw abuse of that provision, where at a point the central bank supported government by over 30% of previous year's revenue. And so this provision is to strengthen it, even though we are enjoined under the fiscal agency agreement between the Ministry of Finance and Government of Ghana to do zero monetary financing. Emergencies can happen. There can be emergency tomorrow. Tomorrow, God forbid, Ghana, there may be an emergency, and then maybe the central bank will have to come in. But if you reach that 5%, you have to come in. So in as much as we don't want to allow monetary financing, you want to restrict and make sure that monetary financing is only for an extreme emergencies, where in the case of Mr. Speaker, we have said that one of the reasons why monetary financing can be allowed is during a state of emergency. as declared by the Commander-in-Chief and in line with the Constitution of Emergency Life.
By substitution of Section 51. And if you read 1A, B, and C, it's clear. However, if you come to 2, it says, and I find it curious, that the government may guarantee on behalf of the Republic a loan granted under paragraphs A or B of subsection 1. Meanwhile, in 1A, the provision is that the bank may, without prior approval of the minister, borrow money from foreign institutions for a period not exceeding 90 days for the day-to-day operations of the bank. Why would the minister ambush his fortunes that way? Why would the minister put himself in harm's way? You are giving them the space to borrow a clause that has been introduced. And I'm saying that if you are giving them the latitude to borrow without prior consent or approval of the minister, you can't introduce that new clause that now gives you the power or requires of you to guarantee. When you don't know, how do you come in and say you are going to guarantee? So, Mr. Speaker, I move the House to delete the entire subclause 2 as been proposed. Thank you.
Honourable members, let's take the bank as a juristic person. As a juristic person, you can, as of right, borrow money. Also, as a juristic person, Honorable Alexander Kwamina Afenyo may guarantee Bernard Ahiafo taking a loan. How does it? No, you see, what they are saying is that the Bank of Ghana may on its own take the loan. However,
1 and 2 and 3 are saying 3 different things. In fact, 2 different things. Mr. Speaker, the one talks about the central bank borrowing without prior approval of the minister. And Mr. Speaker, obviously the central bank's mandate of monetary policy allows them, price stability mandate, allowed them to undertake monetary policy operations, open market operation, what they call OMO, where they issue the central bank's bill weekly to control inflation. They cannot do that with the approval of the minister. Then it means it is the minister who is controlling monetary policy. Beyond OMO, the central bank also receive deposit and also give what we call send them deposit to other countries. So all of that cannot be done with the prior approval of the minister. But Mr. Speaker, if you read 2 talks about the government may guarantee on behalf of the Republic a loan granted under paragraph A or B of subsection 1. Mr. Speaker, that means you are moving beyond the normal monetary policy operations. But it says, when you have to do that, then this subsection 2 is subject to Article 181 of the Constitution. And Article 181 of the Constitution talks of Parliament may by a resolution. So that means you now have to come to Parliament and ask Parliament for approval. So it goes beyond their everyday monetary policy mandate. Maybe something bigger that the lender is asking the central bank to ask for government guarantee. Mr. Speaker, so even though we are saying that the central bank can borrow without the approval of the minister, if the lender so insists that a government guarantee is required for that borrowing, you require approval in line with Article 181 of the Constitution. That is what we are seeking to do, to strengthen the hands of the people's representative, because obviously